Welcome, everyone. This is Gil Fried, crowd management doctor here, and we are very blessed and lucky to have with us Steve Zito, who's been a great friend for, I don't want to say how many years, but needless to say, my hair has gotten a lot grayer since we got to know each other, and Steve will say that I probably caused him to lose most of his hair. And I wouldn't doubt that either because I have that effect on some people. But Steve, why don't you give a little bit about your background and your current position and what you're doing?
Sure. Well, Gil, thanks for having me. I'm honored. I think the world of you and always have. So today I am the general manager of the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas. I have been back here, this is round two, since September of 2017. I actually opened this building back in 1993 and was here for the first 8 years of this building. I was hired as the director of operations and engineering to get the building opened, and 9 months later promoted to facility manager. And then I was offered an opportunity with, at that point, one of our tenants, the San Antonio Spurs, and I left the Alamodome, joined the Spurs, oversaw design and construction, and then operating the SBC Center, now known as the AT&T Center for the Spurs. I was with the Spurs for almost 5 years and was presented a great opportunity in Memphis with the Memphis Grizzlies that had just relocated from Vancouver to Memphis, and they built the brand new FedEx Forum. And I was hired as a vice president and general manager to help that building get open, and was with them till 2010, almost 6 years. And then I was provided an opportunity to, with a company called Andy Frame Services, and to be their president of the sports and entertainment business. And we were able to, I was with them for almost 6 years. We were able to grow that business by over 300%, to get them, reestablished back in the sports and entertainment sector. The Memphis Grizzlies, Orlando Magic, the Orlando Venues, Florida Panthers, Dallas Cowboys, St. Louis Rams, we're all part of those partnerships that we were able to create. And then left Andy Frame, and this opportunity came up back here in San Antonio, and have been back here since 2017. And right after the Final Four, was promoted to general manager of the Alamodome. So I've been here ever since. Been an amazing almost 6 years already.
Well, what a wonderful, career arc, as you say, and you've done a number of wonderful things. What are you doing now, and especially as that relates to the people that are working there in crowd management and stuff like that? Because you've handled a lot, everything from COVID on down that you've had to deal with.
Yeah, so, can't believe I'm saying this, but next year is the 30th anniversary of the Alamodome. So, I started here when I was 5 years old, now being 35, right? No, it's been amazing. We have kind of reinvented the Alamodome the past several years. we are the busiest now than we've ever been, and it's only getting busier. We're we probably the most versatile building in the world, with, going from a theater configuration to 72,000 seats. We have arena configuration. We host a wide variety of events. We average, previously we averaged about 115 events a year, and now we're closer. Last year we were at 153 events. And, we're doing, we're the home of the University Texas San Antonio Roadrunners, who won Conference USA Championship last year for football. They're getting ready to start up again here on Saturday against Houston, one of the top, 25 teams in the country. Then we have Bad Bunny next Wednesday, and we've got Rammstein, we've got Elton John, we've got Grupo Firme. We're hosting the Spurs 50th year anniversary game back here in the Alamodome in January, where they'll be going for the world record of over 62,000 people. We're about to announce a major WWE stadium event. On top of our already busy schedule with Disney on Ice, and we've got the monster trucks, Monster Jam with Feld, and a whole lot more. And then the new news, we also were just awarded an XFL football franchise, which will begin in February of 2023 during our 30th year. So things are really going well, and our team is amazing, and I think we're getting these events because we take care of people the way they want to be treated. So things are well, and excited about the future for sure.
Great. And so you've mentioned your work with Andy Frayne, and how we have known each other over the years is crowd management, which is such an important part of the safety for everyone that's at a major venue. So what are 3 to 4 skills you think are the most important for someone working in crowd management?
Life safety has always got to be the top priority of any venue, anybody working in this business. I think number one, being a team player and creating a team atmosphere where everybody's watching out for each other. I think that's a vital. I think the ability to remain calm, and having the ability to do more than one thing at a time. I think certainly being a great listener, always willing to learn and adapt is critical. I think surrounding yourself with people that know more than you do is a great thing. I think I'm going over the limit, but I'm going to give you a couple of more. I think, always be willing to get your hands dirty and help where it's needed. It's part of being a team player, and that helps earn the respect of those around you. And I think, again, going back to simply treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think those are all vital characteristics to have in crowd management, because you're going to meet a whole realm of folks from one, side of the scope to the other, and you just don't know what you're walking into.
So I bet you've had your share of crowd management related issues that you've dealt with. Can you share some stories, hopefully with all good endings, that the issues were able to be resolved, but just some examples so that way the people that are viewing the video will realize, hey, I've seen that. That happened to me, or that happened to Sally or to Steve or somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a perception by a lot of people when you're in this business that you're sitting front on the front row watching the Rolling Stones, and um, and it's not a reality of this business. And typically, if you get to watch a couple of minutes of the entire show, you're probably lucky. There are a lot of things that are happening during an event, before an event, and after an event. And it's probably not a positive story, but it's a reality story. So back, early on in the probably the mid 90s, here in this building, the Alamodome, we had, the monster trucks, and then they had an element of a thrill show that was part of it. So the majority of the event was over. There were two acts left. There was the thrill show act, and then there was the demolition derby at the end of the night. So the thrill show act involved two drivers, a driver in each car that started on each side of the Alamodome. And they gain speed and they go up a ramp and they come up in midair and they have a head-on collision. So we had that, that was our thrill act for the night. And without a lot of detail, one vehicle went a little bit faster than the other. And the driver in that car that went slower was decapitated. So that event abruptly ended because it became a homicide investigation site. So we had to evacuate the building. Well, some folks didn't really understand what had just happened and what they witnessed. And they felt because the show was what they didn't get everything they paid for, they wanted their money back. So, we evacuated the building and some folks went up to the concession stands or the box offices. And we had to shut them down because they were wanting their money back because they didn't get to see that final act. And that just created an entirely different environment in a very short amount of time. And, you've always got to be planning for plan B and maybe even have a plan C. So, we quickly, announced, stay tuned to, the local radio stations for next steps, whether or not we were going to have refunds, we were going to honor tickets at another event, etc. At the same time, the media caught wind and our loading dock gate where the vehicles entered and exited became swarmed with reporters. And, we had to shut the gates that, you could see into the stadium, the loading dock gates. And the reporters were out there with their cameras recording the vehicles that were leaving because they wanted that shot of the body being taken out of the building. And that was an entirely new experience for me. I happened to be, one of the first few people out there. My office was right near it. So, for me, psychologically, I thought I was a tough guy. No way. I mean, I had just spoken with that individual 10 minutes before it happened because he happened to be walking by my office. I had to stop his wife and 3-year-old child from going on the floor. So, you just don't know what's going to happen in this business. And then ironically, the next morning I was driving to Houston because I was the guest speaker for the Arena Crowd Management Seminar. And, it hit CNN and it became the topic of discussion for the entire conference. And, so these lessons learned are what I passed on. You don't know what you're going into in this business. And, and keeping people safe, you try to do your best in everything that you do. But in this case, that was out of our control. And, you just don't know. And, so, my takeaway is, you try to be prepared. You think more from, certainly the front of the house and the guests coming and the policies and procedures and the screening that you do for these folks. But, you're limited how much you can do back of house. You can check and you can validate those folks or to be there, et cetera. But they have a duty that they do on stage, and you can only do so much to control that. But our team training is critical. Dealing with people, truly try to deal with people the way you want to be treated and treat them with respect and dignity. And, we try to empower our staff to always do the right thing. So if somebody, spilt their soda, take them to the stand and get them another soda. Somebody bumped into them or what have you. Try to, take care of the situation before it gets blown out of proportion. And again, we try to be proactive in our training, beyond, just treating people right, and try to train for certain situations. Just the past month, we've had 2 different types of trainings for our management teams, both our full-time staff as well as the management teams of our partners. One was, SWAT training for, active shooter type situations. And the other one was about explosives and kind of recognizing, a potential situation and how do you react to that situation. So we always try to help our team be as educated as we can. And, things are changing every day, so you just can't get enough of that training.
Training is important. It's critical. It's the lifeblood for everyone to keep constantly growing. But as you said, we all have to follow the golden rule as well. Yeah. And if you treat people well, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Steve, thank you so much. This has all been very valuable and useful. And I'm sure the people that are watching this video are going to maybe not sleep well tonight with a visual that they have of the incident, but there's going to be incidents that are going to happen regardless of all the preparation. You cannot have a perfectly safe venue. You can never have a perfectly safe event. You could do your best and take as many precautions as possible, and that's all that we can do. Some things are out of our control.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate your time and your contribution. This is great.
Likewise, Gil. Thank you again.
Okay, and stay safe and healthy.